What's up everyone? Today we got a special Warzone gameplay by a pro player where I'm going to break everything down, giving a play-by-play analysis of how or why he makes certain decisions to position himself in the optimal position to get his kills. Some tips that may not be as obvious that good players regularly do, along with how the movement of his team and their teamwork makes the dream work. Here I just placed a quick screenshot of his loadout from his video, just for quick reference. If anyone's interested, I linked his channel and video down in the description. The video that we are breaking down, because obviously this is his gameplay. But now that that's out of the way, let's get started with the video. So here we see them starting off in Superstore. As you can see, they're coming from different angles and they're all actually landing in the same spot. He notices someone and he sees that he picked up the gun before him. He hits a couple shots, runs out the way because he knows his teammates are going to down him while he's distracted. He comes back when he has his back turned and then finishes him off. Another teammate's now in danger, so they all push at the same time. This is a really huge concept that everyone has to understand, that more teammates against 2v1 3v1 is a lot easier than a 1v1. So if everyone pushes at the same exact time and is on cue, it makes it a lot quicker and easier. So you see here that we have teammates that are being attacked and being shot at. What he does, and this is a huge concept as well, is he flanks and he tries to get their attention from another direction, tries to hit them. As you can see, they're hitting them straight on and he takes a flanking position. Fortunately, he was a little bit late, but that is the same strategy or concept that you have to keep in your mind when you're playing with a squad, because it's a lot easier to take people down as one enemy is looking out in one direction. You have an easier shot, or your teammates have an easier shot with cover fire from the instead of going through the crossfire in between themselves. So here they're just scoping out the plays. Obviously he gets shot down real quick, but this is another huge factor. As soon as he's getting shot or they see a red dot, they go attack it all at once. He goes down, but their teammates are right there immediately to try to cover him. And this is why we always want to keep a tight pack between the squad and be in different directions and angles, because if one goes down, it at least allows the other teammate to take out the enemy if they're trying to finish the kill, and etc. So now they're moving here. As you can see, another example of how this is. They see an enemy, one drops off from another angle, and then this one pushes it, Swag pushes it head on. He sees the precision airstrike, so obviously he's gonna try to move out the way. And again, here we have pinning. Pinning is a huge part of the game. It's very essential in this gameplay. They have a little challenge where they don't communicate at all, so they use pins, and you're gonna see throughout the video it's super effective in order to indicate where the enemy is, where you want to go. So it makes it a lot easier for people to understand where to look for, or if you spot an enemy that other teammates didn't see, it's a lot easier for them to spot once you put the pin on them. So as they're moving forward, heartbeat sensor should be on every loadout. You use it for every situation, especially early game, because no one has that ghost loadout. It's easy to trap people. So once he got shot, he puts into cover, and this is a huge part in his gameplay where it's very essential. If you get shot, instead of trying to rush back out and try to engage the opponent one-on-one, he just waits for him. He waits for him and obviously with his headsets, he's able to hear when the person is running towards him, which is a lot harder to go ADS and get a quick shot. So he just simply uses patience, puts himself in a position where he knows as soon as the person enters the building, he shot him. So another situation, as we just saw, two teammates pushing the same guy. There's nothing he can do, and they were all coming at him from different angles. So as we move forward, obviously when you revive, in this case they had already cleared out everyone from there. You want to put yourself in cover, try not to revive people from a distance. Here he sees a shot, and instead of putting himself on the left hand side where he was previously, where the opponent can then hide on the right hand side of the wall, he positions himself where he can see both sides. This is a huge part of finding any tips and shortcuts, as you can see here, through having high ground all the time, where you have a bigger field of view of the enemy, and it's a lot easier to spot and take an easy shot for enemies. And here is a hugely underlooked ability in Dead Silence. Doesn't let people record the shots. He noticed that there was people here, so he wants to use Dead Silence in order to get, creep up on people without them hearing him. And it worked effectively here. He saw that someone was coming around the corner or heard it in fact, and jumped up and kind of surprised them. He gets shot and he runs for cover and immediately tries to armor up. This is a huge thing that you always want to try to armor up again, because once you want to engage into the firefight again, you want to have the max amount of defense you can. So he uses his heartbeat sensor in order to locate the next enemy. As you can see here, he jumps in, he knows he's in there because of the heartbeat sensor, and he pre-fires shots, which is a huge thing. You want to pre-fire and then go ahead and take him out. Here is a huge concept as well with any general gameplay, because this is a mistake that he created and what cost him the L. He came in and killed his first opponent, and what you want to do is you never want to just immediately try to take him out, because one, you would have to use more bullets, and in this case that's what ended up happening. He used more bullets in order to finish him off, and then the next opponent ended up coming and took him out because he had to then reload. But in other cases, even if you have more bullets, it just comes at you because you're focused on shooting him down, and then someone else comes and takes you out. So you always want to make sure that it's a little bit safer before trying to finish and complete the opponent. In this case, C4 knowledge, just being able to see that his friend went down, you know, pushed, and he uses a C4 as soon as he saw someone, gets in cover and just blows it up, doing damage without trading shots or anything. Another huge tip that you saw right there is do not spend so much time trying to look at people's loadouts and stuff, because you know that exposes you, especially if you only killed one person and there could be teammates nearby. Do not try to just stop there and find loadouts. Do not try to hoard as much ammo as you can possibly. As you get more kills, you'll get more. As you loot and go to different places, you'll be able to find more loot. So not trying to always have that, you know, maximum amount of ammo on your gun, because as you're trying to look through all the opponent's stuff, you're gonna expose yourself and it's gonna leave you vulnerable to just getting beamed out of nowhere because you're just in an open space or someone just comes up from behind. One theme that I also do see in just regular gameplay when you play fill-in squads is people don't move as a squad. You see here, as one person jumped off the building, was ready to push forward, everyone followed. No one stays and lags behind, because you always want to have that advantage in 2v1s, 3v1s, 4v1s, etc. Because as soon as, you know, there's more people against you, it's a lot harder to take people out. And if you guys all move quickly and flawlessly, in this case they didn't even communicate at all, and they all know how to progress, they all know when to move. When one person pushes up or, you know, just moves towards a certain direction, they all move without having to communicate to that same direction or to stick close, because they understand that, you know, when you have more people against one single person, it's a lot easier to take them out, you know, by the other reasons that we mentioned earlier about multi-direction attacks, because it's a lot easier to take one person out that's aiming towards one person that can easily just cover, and then everyone else wipe them out. In this case, is just a quick example of notice your surroundings and also take out the biggest threat first. He looked at one person, and what he said from afar, he just pinned him and heard another enemy that was closer trying to make the push in order, you know, trying to use that same distraction method. So he went, shot the first threat, and then went as a team to finish off the rest. Here he's in a 1v1 firefight with someone. He notices that he made him go into cover with his shots, and he tried to push up and go into from a different direction in order to just get a different angle and pop his head up, hoping that the opponent would think that he's still in that previous position, and then he just surprises them. He was caught off guard, so he just went back to cover while his other teammate was providing cover fire to get this guy to keep going back into cover, the enemy, to make him stop shooting, so he can get enough cover, enough time in order to not die. So in this case, again, using the heartbeat sensor, and you're seeing why it is super essential to know where everyone's at. He's using his dead silence again, so they know that he's not behind them. Quick 1-2, boom, pops him up. As you see, he did not try to finish him off right away, because if he would have, he would have been shot by the guy right out the window. So he first finished off the immediate threat, and then, as you can see, he finished and swiped the squad, so he didn't even have to do it anyways. So it saved him ammo, and it saved him time, and it got him into a good position where he wasn't caught off guard by another player, as he was focused trying to take out and finish off the first opponent. So here is a huge another concept in terms of when you're riding in vehicles. Boom, C4 goes off. It does not work because it would have wiped out the whole squad if they didn't have a trophy system within the car. That's a huge thing. Every time you try to use a car and you're going through like narrow areas or, you know, close quarters type of combat where someone can throw C4, just try to have a trophy system. Here's another huge teamwork idea where one is pushing up And Swag in this case is defending that side, and he's providing cover. You know, someone comes up and he's the one shooting while someone else is moving forward trying to get another position and another angle and trying to get them. So boom, jump shots, and just continue spraying and praying at this point and hip firing in this close quarters combat, and he gets the kill. It makes it a lot easier and you know, way more effective as well. And again, look at their positioning. They're always staying at the end of where the circle is going to end up being, so they can kind of gatekeep and try to catch people off guard that are running away from the storm, that have no other choice but to push forward and may have to go into open positions where they get them. Another situation of when you don't want to take someone out immediately, he just took him out, and instead of trying to go for the guy that, you know, ran away with the riot shield and finish him off, he made sure that no one was coming up the stairs, that he was in a safe position in order to take him out. In this case, he saw that his teammates were not necessarily in a good position to help him out take that guy quickly, and that guy was going to be in cover right away. So instead, he decided not to engage immediately, because as soon as he shoots them, he gives away their position and they have an idea that there's people behind them. So as soon as, you know, they're in a good position to be able to shoot, they take the shot, and there you go. They, as a team, they wipe the whole team out pretty easily, and they keep moving forward. And here we see the same thing of pinning and the effectiveness of it without them communicating. He knows exactly where to look, and in this case, he saw exactly in the same direction that his teammate pinned, and he saw where the opponent was. So now he's going to go ahead and press as well, seeing him later on due to the pin. So here they just go, as you see, they're on the edge of that circle, just gatekeeping the people behind them, keeping their back not exposed, because you don't want to be in the middle of a circle as to having multiple teams trying to attack you at the same time and you just get pinched. So in this case, again, using the pinning system, pinning them effectively, and they just continue moving up and pressing. And as you see, the first dude starts moving out, and the next guy moves out, and the next guy moves out. They all move as a unit on the team, and they're all taking different angles and positions to try to kind of get the opponents, you know, worked up or surprise them in a different angle, because they would expect that, you know, where one opponent is being shot from, that most of the team is going to be in that area. But if they come from different angles and flank, it's just a lot easier to take out opponents. In this case, they're just pinning again. They know there's a team within there that he took out. We saw that hip fire, as I mentioned before, is huge, and being able to pre-fire before you go ADS can save you a little bit of time and can get 1 or 2 bullets, and allowed him to take out that opponent. They know that there's a team there, so there's no rush. They know that they're within the circle. They're just going to watch their back first, all the stragglers from the storm, and then go ahead and move into that building. So in this case, it's a huge idea of just positioning as well. One goes in for cover, he gets shot, he hides under the mound, and he has to know his ability to be able to duck and know where his cover is. You never want to be in an open field just like that, but he knows because of the little mound, he's able to just get ducked and being able to defend himself. Every time he gets shot at, his teammate presses up and provides a cover fire, and he goes back and puts up more armor and then engages again, but from a different angle. You never want to pop up again when you're being shot at. You never want to peek again from the same location, because obviously the teammate is just aiming down sight exactly where you're going to pop up. So as soon as you pop up, before you're even able to lock on them, they're going to be shooting at you easily. Again, with the pin system, you see he's constantly moving into different directions, not letting himself get exposed, because if he's seen in one direction, he hides and covers and then comes out another. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. He went from moving from the west direction, then he moved east, and now he's coming up at a different angle. You saw he was headed straight and being covered by the rock, so he moves from a different position without being seen, and then is able to flank him and beat him right then and there. Again, he takes another position, his teammate as well, and they both continue to target the same exact person. As when 2 people are shooting and trying to beam one person, it's a lot quicker to get them down. They're not worried about taking them out because they know there's another person left. And again, as you can see, from 2 different angles, they both go and beam him down, and that's game. So if you enjoyed the video and the play-by-play analysis breakdown with tips and tricks, feel free to drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment what other type of YouTubers, pro players, or even my own gameplay you'd like to see, in order to try to get a bigger and deeper understanding of how the game is, some quick tips, and now that you're more of a pro and you know more about how to win, enjoy.